Hello and welcome to my channel, The Curious Coder. This video is part of my design patterns playlist, and today we are going to talk about factory design pattern. So what exactly is factory pattern? It is a design pattern which is used to create objects without exposing the object creation logic to the client. Alright, let's understand what this actually means. Suppose we have an interface and multiple classes are implementing that interface. Now different clients in the application might need objects of these implementation classes. So factory pattern says that the client should not be the one who is creating objects of these classes. Instead, we introduce a factory class in between. And this factory class contains the complete object creation logic, meaning it decides which classes object should be returned based on the requirement. So the client simply asks the factory for an object. The factory handles the creation internally and provides the object to the client. Now you might be thinking that okay, we introduced a factory class in between, but why do we actually need this pattern? So that's exactly what we are going to understand in this video. I've already given you a brief. Now we'll start with a real world example which has some problematic design. Then one by one, we'll start identifying the problems and solving them, and eventually we'll naturally arrive at the factory pattern solution. With this approach, you'll never need to memorize it blindly, and you'll be way more confident to explain this pattern in your interviews. Suppose you're building a food delivery application like Zomato or Swiggy, and in your application, you need to have some notification system because you'll definitely be sending some notifications, right? Like the order has been placed or order has been accepted or preparing your order. Okay, things like these. So for that, I have created two different classes. We have email notification and we have SMS notification. Okay. Now I have another class, order service. Basically, this class handles the ordering, and after the order has been placed, then it sends the notification. Okay, so as of now, we are only going to talk about the notification part. Okay, so what it does is we have two different objects, email notification as well as SMS notification, and we have two different methods. Okay, now what is the problem with this design? First of all, the biggest problem is that we have tightly coupled order service with both email notification as well as SMS notification. Okay, because we have created their objects directly over here. Alright, now the problem with this is that let's say in future we want to add WhatsApp notification. So for that, I will again have to create an object and I will again have to add a method. Okay, similarly, if we add push notification, then there will be one more method. So this class will become huge. And another thing is that we are adding a functionality in the notification logic, but we have to change the code in the client as well. Okay, so that is not right. The code in the client should not have been changed. Okay, so for that, first we'll solve this. What we can do is I will add some abstraction on these classes. Okay, so simply I'll just create an interface notification and I'll add a method void send. Okay, like this. Now both these classes, SMS notification as well as email notification, should implement this interface. Okay, implements notification. All right. Now this order service does not have to be tightly coupled with this. What I can do is I can just remove all this and we can just simply take notification and we can have a single method that says public void send, and here I will just call notification.send. Okay, let me name it send notification. All right, simple. So this is how we solve the problem of tight coupling. Okay, now we are this order service is only dependent on this notification, and using this, it is calling this method. Okay, now see, we have to somehow give a logic that which particular notification should it be. Okay, we have loosely coupled it, but still we need to give some logic. Okay, so for that, what I can do, I'll just simply take a type, let's say string type, and I'm saying if type dot equals, let's say email, then this notification should be equal to email notification. Okay, and if it is of the type, let's say SMS, then this notification should be equal to SMS notification. Alright, so this will be my logic. What I'm saying is that if this type, which I will pass from the, let's say from the main class, and this type, if it is equal to email, then we'll have an email notification object. Otherwise, we'll have a SMS notification object. Okay, and then using this notification, we'll just call the send method. Okay, so is my problem solved? No. Still, there is a problem with the design, and that problem is that why are we having this object creation logic here in this client class? Okay, factory pattern says that this logic should not be present over here. Instead, we should have a separate class for this logic. Okay, but why? See, let's say like this order service, we have one more class, delivery service. Okay, now this is another client and it also wants to have some notification objects, because let's say after delivery we want to send some notification that out for delivery or reached your location, near to your location. Okay, things like these. So this delivery service will also be using this notification, and it will also have to have some logic to create the object. Okay, so you can see that there is duplicacy of code, which we don't want, and basically this logic of object creation should be independent of the client. Okay, client only wants to send the notification. It should not be the one who is responsible for creating the logic of how to create the object. Okay, that is why we need a factory class in between. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll just simply create another class and we can call it, okay, I'll create a class and we'll just call it notification factory. Okay, like this. And the logic that we added over here in this order service, we can have this logic over here in the factory. Okay, and what it does is it will just simply return. Alright, so we'll have a variable string type. If type is email, then it will return the email notification object. If type is SMS, then it will just return SMS notification. Okay, otherwise we could just throw some error. Okay, it means that it is some invalid type. So throw new, let's say illegal argument exception, invalid type. Okay, cool. So this is how factory pattern works. Basically now I have a method which is present in this notification factory, and this method is actually creating the object. Okay, now the client, what does the client have to do? Client can simply ask for an object. Okay, so let's say if we want to send notification using this client, and let's say the order service has decided that it wants to use the email notification. Okay, so it can simply use this notification factory, and instead I can just make this method static like this, and this notification factory is equal to dot send notification, and here I will pass email. Okay, like this, and this will give me an object which will be of the type notification. So there is no tight coupling. Okay, let me call it notification like this. So this order service will directly use the notification factory instead of using the notification. Okay, and this factory will be responsible of having the object creation logic. Alright, and here I can, let's say this client wants to use email, so we'll pass email, and then using this notification, we'll just call the send method. Okay, this is how the design should be. Similarly, in the delivery service as well, let's say delivery service wants to use SMS. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just remove all this, and we can directly use the notification factory dot send notification, and here we pass SMS. Alright, this will give me a method, this will give me an object notification, and using this object we will just call the send method. Okay, so the client is not worried about how the object has been created. Okay, the client only sends this type. Okay, this is in the contract that client will have to send the type, and this factory will automatically create an object of that. Okay, so the object creation logic that is only present in this factory, it is centralized. Any client can now come and they can simply call this method and they can take whichever object they want to take. Okay, this is how this pattern works. Now there is one thing you might argue that let's say if the client wants to have both the notification system. Okay, here we have just passed the SMS and in this order service we have only passed the email. So it might be possible that client might be needing both these cases or a different type of case. Okay, so we can have different type of methods for that. It's not necessary that the creation should have to be like this. We can have different methods over here. Okay, so let me show you. Let's say I want to send multiple notifications. Okay, so for that, instead of a single type, I'll take a list like this, and using this list we'll traverse on this list first. Okay, so for, let me call it types. Okay, for every type I can just add this logic over here inside the loop. Okay, and we'll not return this, we'll simply return a list of notification, and here I will declare list of notifications is equal to new array list. Okay, and here we are just gonna add this. Okay, in the notifications I'll keep on adding the different objects. Okay, so whatever we pass in the types, all these will be added over here. Okay, so as of now we only have 2, but you can assume that let's say there are a lot of type of notifications. Okay, notifications dot add new SMS notifications. Okay, simple. And in the end I will just return my list. Okay, return notifications. Cool. So now if my order service, let's say it wanted to have both email as well as SMS, so we can just call this method new. Basically we can just pass on the list. Okay, so we have new array list, arrays dot as list, and here I will pass both email as well as both SMS. Okay, like this. Okay, what's the issue? It says required type notification. Okay, list of string. Yeah, so this will be now a list of notification like this. We'll have notifications, and again we can loop on these. For every notification inside these notifications, we can simply just call notification.send. Okay, so this is how you can change your design. Alright, but the main point is that all the object creation logic that should be present in this notification factory. Whether the logic is like this, or whether the logic is like this, or maybe it could be some different logic, but all of that should be present here in the notification factory, and the client should only see this class, should only talk to this class, and using this class it should just fetch whichever object it want to fetch. Okay, whether it is SMS or email or both these objects. Okay, anything can be done, but the client should only be using this notification factory. Okay, this is how it works. Alright, so I hope this video was helpful. For more such content, please follow my channel, The Curious Coder.